Good evening, everyone. It's great to be with you here tonight. I'm Paul Legrone. You know, at one point, Florida was ground zero in the opioid epidemic. Doctors and strip malls filling out prescriptions and patients getting hooked. The Sunshine State at one point awash in addiction and the crime that it led to. But tonight, there's a new chapter in the epidemic, and it just began today, one that could have lasting consequences for one of the country's biggest retailers. Today in Newport Richey, opening arguments began in the civil trial where the state of Florida is suing Walgreens. The state says the chain pharmacy chose profits over lives, addiction over recovery. The lawsuit alleges the company filled out huge orders of opioids with tons of red flags. The suit also singles out one store in Hudson that distributed 2 million doses of oxycodone. The population there is about 12,000. Walgreens' response in a nutshell: doctors prescribe the drugs, we supply them. And as the trial now gets underway, those who have battled addiction are watching and hoping it'll all make a difference. Tonight, Vanessa Ariza going in depth with what the price of addiction really looks like.
This is one of my favorites. This is concrete and metal.
Justin McPadden took us into his garage.
These stencils.
Or as he likes to call it, his art room, a safe space to let his creativity run wild.
It's therapeutic. Doing this stuff, like being out here, it's therapy. You know, I love doing it.
He's happy now, living what he calls his best life. But in 2011, he found himself in the depths of addiction.
That was the lowest point in my life. 130 pounds soaking wet, like I had nothing left. You know, I was completely depleted of everything. And like I had no family left. I had no money, no morals, no nothing.
Coming from a family of addicts, he dabbled in drugs as a kid, got his act together at the age of 19, but found himself staring at the bottom of an empty pill bottle after a fall.
19 years old, you know, I fell 2 stories. I was on an extension ladder inside of a house, and the extension ladder slipped, and I went down with it, and I smashed onto a tile floor, and I messed up my ankle really, really bad.
His doctor prescribed him 60 Lortab 10s, and unknowingly, along came addiction. Lortabs turned to Percocets, Percocets turned to Roxys, and Roxys turned to Oxy.
It's a snowball effect, because once you get hooked on them, it's like, it's the only thing that like your body actually needs it. Your body needs it to like function.
He got clean after a few years, but then broke his leg and the cycle began again.
I was homeless on the streets, and everything was no holds barred as far as drugs go.
McPadden's story is dark, but not uncommon. The latest numbers from the Department of Human and Health Services breaks it down. In the past year, 1.6 million people were addicted to opioids. That equates to the entire county of Hillsborough and then some.
There seems to be a never-ending supply of people that become addicted to opiates.
Liz Harden is the executive director of Board Prep Recovery in Tampa. In her 30 years of experience, she's seen what drug dependency can do, and she sees what can become of it with the right help.
Well, I think anything we can do to increase awareness is always a good thing. I don't think any one thing is going to be the panacea to solve the problem at hand, but I think anything that we can do to look at, you know, accountability.
She, like McPadden, is hoping litigations like the state versus Walgreens will end with monetary wins and new beginnings for recovering addicts like McPadden.
There's freedom that comes from sharing your story with other people, for the world, with whatever it looks like. Somebody could be watching right now and be like, man, if that guy can do it, I could probably do it.
Vanessa Ariza, ABC Action News.
And Vanessa also tells us tonight that Justin is now just one class away from getting his GED. As he continues his life in recovery, he also hopes to help others through a new podcast that he just helped to launch. It's called The Hope Shot.